differentiate themselves from the rest of the herd and project an image of themselves for others to see. In our ancient past, we might have adorned ourselves with feathers or animal bones in order to stand out from the rest of the tribe. These simple decorations were a way to make ourselves unique within the social group that we depended on for our very lives. Paradoxically, we as animals desperately need to fit in, but we also yearn to be individuals, and nothing mortifies most of us more than being seen as simply another one of the pack. Well, thanks to modern brands such as Louis Vuitton, Supreme, Ferrari, and Kanye West, with his $100 plain cotton t shirts, you don't have to be one of the pack. You can be exclusive. And so what if your exclusivity costs you an entire paycheck? How else will anyone know how special and unique you are? With the personality. Get real. Brands like Supreme know their name stands for exclusivity. And the only way to ensure that exclusivity is to make sure that their brand never becomes too popular. If you've seen our previous video on why Ferraris are so expensive, then you already know that Ferrari purposefully limits the quantity of vehicles it produces every year. Instead of mass producing their cars and thus bottoming out the price, Ferrari makes very few of each model per year, perhaps as little as only a few hundred. And this keeps the price and the exclusivity sky high. Without exclusivity, Ferrari would never be able to charge the exorbitant amounts of money it does for its vehicles. The same applies to Supreme and the other clothing brands. Being a popular clothing brand is a delicate balance between generating
Hello
buzz
guys,
and making product available,
how you
and
doing?
ensuring that your product is not nearly available enough to lose that exclusivity that your customers are willing to shell out hundreds or maybe even thousands for. Nobody buys Supreme so they can show up at a party and see a bunch of other people wearing Supreme brand clothes. They buy it because nobody else at the party can afford to spend a month's paycheck on some cotton rags with a brand name on them. If Supreme wearers started showing up to parties full of other Supreme wearers, then the exclusivity would plummet and so would sales, with the crowd moving on to the next niche but cool thing to throw on their bodies. But exclusivity is only part of the story. Another major appeal to Supreme and other brands like it is the lifestyle that a customer is buying into, or at least the illusion of that lifestyle. Supreme isn't just a brand, it's an image, an illusion of what the wearer of a Supreme hoodie's life is like. Hip, trendy, edgy, no holds barred, and ultra cool. Except most people's lifestyles aren't anything like that, because most people have adult responsibilities like school and jobs. By wearing a brand name like Supreme, though, the wearer of these clothing items can project to the world an image of what he or she wants said world to believe they're like. If you wear Louis Vuitton, for instance, then you're classy. Spend your weekend sipping mimosas with your best gal pals as you recall your daring romantic misadventures on the Mediterranean coast during your latest holiday. At least that's what you want the world to think you do. And why you're paying over $1,000 for a handbag, while in reality your best friend is a depressed overweight cat and a bottle of Ambien. And you spend your weekends redboxing movies because your new Louis Vuitton bag means you can't afford Netflix. Supreme is no different. The brand began as a small shop in New York that catered to skaters, back when actually skating and not just pretending by wearing skate brands was a thing. Now, if you wear a Supreme t-shirt, you're boldly declaring to the world that you're part of the rebel underground. You're a modern Z-boy that's too badass to live inside the rules, yet is sensitive enough to be socially conscious to a diverse array of modern issues ranging from vegetarianism to racial injustice. The reality about yourself may be not as accurate. But who's going to call you a phony baloney when you're wearing authentic Supreme wear? In essence, more than exclusivity, that is why Supreme clothing is so expensive, and goes for every other name brand out there. You're not buying pieces of cloth sewn together by sad orphan third world children whose only lunch is a single stale cracker and a bowl full of sadness. You're buying into an illusionary lifestyle that you desperately want to be identified with. Shelling out a bunch of money lets you pretend you share in that lifestyle, even if your actual reality is nowhere even close. Money buys the story about yourself you want the world to read, and this is perhaps no more clearer than when Supreme teamed up with old school rap powerhouse Public Enemy to release a limited edition run of Public Enemy clothing items. If you don't know any member of Public Enemy except Flava Flav, what are you really buying and proudly displaying on your chest?
Who cooked for you, boy? Palawana, you know you need to find one from a very good family. It's her, isn't it? Ha, Tebuho. Oh, no, no, God. But it...
Look at me, except Flava Flav. What are you really buying and proudly displaying on your chest? What's
See you
your
guys,
perception
peace.
of what your own life is